Hola! Welcome to the podcast. This is JD Plank.
And Chad, we're back again for another round.
Yes, this is these 10 things where we pick 10 or more topics or 1 hour. Well, we might go a little further than that today. And we debate, talk about them, embellish them, hate them, whatever motion feels right. Then at the end of the podcast, pick 10 things that we hate. And this week's topic is 10 things we hate about the ESPN and 10 things they do to piss us off. Before we start, I want to make something clear about what we're doing here. This is let me just tell you the origin stories of this. I bartend at a local bar. My friend Chad started coming in as a customer every Friday.
I drank there a lot.
A lot.
It's ridiculous.
People
in third world countries could really use the money I spend on booze.
And he would come in and we would just start talking about stuff we like, football, not so much basketball, but nerd stuff, TV shows, movies, comic books, superheroes, so on and so forth. And we had such a good time that other people actually started joining in. From that spawned our fantasy league. We have couples that are other couples that would listen and chime in, and now they're regulars. That's how this all started. And we thought maybe we can branch out to a larger audience. So that's why we created this. We're not trying to make some grandiose political statement, we're just trying to have fun and just embellish the things that we enjoy and sometimes debate them and say they should change or whatever, but we're not trying to make a huge grandiose statement here. So just enjoy the podcast as much as you can because we enjoy making it as much as we can, okay?
Yeah, follow it, like it, because the more people we get, then we're going to start charging, and I want paid.
Yeah. Oh, don't we want paid? We can buy more booze and stuff with it.
All right. Well, we need to pick up where we messed up last week. And I mentioned that Pod Crash was done by Kevin Hardwick, and we all know that Kevin Harvick races in NASCAR, but I think I was thinking about Kevin Smith when I was trying to say Chris Hardwick, so I apologize to Chris Hardwick. Mad props. Pod Crash is awesome.
And I apologize to Chad because he stated that Gone with the Wind was not based on inflation would not be the highest grossing movie of all time. Gone with the Wind has sold over 200 million tickets in theater at the time in which it was being made. The closest movie to that is Titanic with 97 million. And if you have the same price of that, anyone would do the basic math. That's light years ahead of it in money, but at the time, tickets were cheap. So I do owe you an apology on that. You got a good call.
We're good. You bought me food.
Great.
Call it even.
All right. Since we used my list last time, we'll start with yours this time.
Start with my list. All right. Well, first things first, football, because end all be all. We all love football. And we'll start with fantasy because why not? That's what the dream is. Going in to the game on Monday night, everything's sealed up. I am down by 1 point. I have 3 guys left on my roster. I have Martavius Bryant, Heath Miller, Ben Roethlisberger. Should have won easily by 15 to 20 points, even on their worst night with their worst performances. I win by 5 points. Roethlisberger didn't even get a point. Heath got 1 point something, and Martavius got 2 point something. Ridiculous, but they were giving the ball to Le'Veon Bell, as they should, because he was printing yardage that week. So I'm mad at them for not giving me more points, but they got me the win, so meh.
Now, see, I'm mad because if those guys would have done better, Le'Veon Bell wouldn't have got 30-some points in my other league, and beat me.
Yeah.
Gosh, how do I put up like 150 and a guy beats me? 2 straight weeks I put up like 150 and someone beats me. I'm just getting really mad, man.
I haven't broken 100 in like 2 weeks.
I do.
I'm winning, but I'm not
I get everyone's best game, man. I get everyone's best game, and it's pissing me off.
Oh, by the way, Gene, haha, that loss I took to you at the beginning of the season is meaningless now because now I beat you. That means we're even. So
how bad
you can't brag about it anymore.
How bad did he beat you?
I don't know. It was terrible.
Look that up.
I cried a little.
Okay, I just want to say, and last week I said that everyone hates Terrence. I don't hate Terrence. I think it's a great kid, and honestly, for a 15 or 16-year-old, no one is going to be as good at debating at sports as he is. He throws stats at you. He's a smart kid.
Dude is a stat master.
He is and he's a great kid to be around, but I just glad I don't want to lose a little shit. So that's And I beat him this week, so I'm so happy. But I do love you, Terrence. You're my boy. My boy, Blue. You're my boy. And, God, in our league, I just want someone to beat Cole. I want James and the Fishers to be out of the playoffs. So your wife needs to step her shit up, okay?
She is trying.
She's just try harder.
She went out and got Isaiah Crowell this morning because no one else did for whatever reason. But Points Chaser Supreme over here, JD, had to go get Jonas Gray because he had a 48-point week.
What can I say, man? I got to pad my bench a little bit.
Points Chaser.
Absolutely. I didn't give up anything to get him. I got what is it, Cunningham?
I'm just saying, you're a Points Chaser.
Yeah, it's a backup running back for the freaking Rams. And you know what's going to happen?
What?
Jess is going to lose and not get in the playoffs because of her pregnancy.
Oh, they just beat my ass 81-63. I got fucking stomped. Son of a bitch.
So I think he's going to win that because if you combine both your teams, I think he beats you.
Well,
both your points. So he will win the overall league one-on-one matchup. But yeah, you're gonna win. You're gonna get in the playoffs. He's not, but he beats you overall in points.
Fuck you, Gene.
That's why I wanted to look.
I misstarted everyone that week. I played the Eagles instead of Detroit. Eagles got 8. Detroit got 36. That one change would have changed it. But not only that.
Well, look at his roster.
Yeah, but then I screwed up my kicker. I started Matt Bryant on the worst week he had all season and sat Adam Vinatieri on the best week he had all season. It was just complete mismanagement. And that was the week that Brian Quick should have actually been played in all leagues. Can't figure that shit out, son of a bitch. But I was smart enough not to start Teddy Bridgewater, damn it.
Did you have Bridgewater back then?
Yeah, but that's when somebody got injured and he came in at the last part of the game. So there was no way to foresee that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So fantasy.
Terrence, I hate you.
I'm still on a 6-game winning streak, so I'm feeling pretty good right
now. I won 2 in a row. I'm happy with that.
Get on my level, son. Get on my level.
I don't have enough games left in the season to get on your level.
Me and Cole. I hope he loses next 2 weeks.
Oh, wait a minute. Since we're talking about get on your level, wait a minute. Who was in last place when the playoffs started last year? And who won the championship?
You always go to your last game. Or your last 6 games, and I've won all 6 of them. So let's go that route, my friend.
I'm just saying, I can start at the bottom of the playoffs and still trump it. I got it in
try.
Me. I will. Because I want Terrence.
We'll have that debate later. We will have that
Terrence's
debate later.
Money.
I want his money too. I want to beat Cole so bad. I want to win the regular season points and record. Because I've been on. You gotta admit, I've at least been on a tear lately. You have to at least admit I've been doing good. All right. So fantasy football. Anything else you want to say about fantasy football? I do love Aaron Rodgers this week. Last week he pissed me off, but I love him this week.
You gotta love Aaron Rodgers every week.
He is the best quarterback in the league. Him, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning, top 3, and then Colts quarterback, whoever that is.
Yeah, no one's ever heard of that guy.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of luck, maybe. Maybe he'll win. No pun intended.
That's what they say every time Jesse wins.
A little bit of luck.
She had a little bit of luck.
And anywho, so jump to football, not fantasy football.
No, we'll go to football. I think I'm done complaining. I did lose to James. I would like to point that out.
You lost to James?
That makes me sad.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
Oh, Cole. Oh, that's the one that son of a bitch. He beat me by 0.45.
Cole?
By 0.45.
It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault he's not tied with me for first place.
That was Ben Roethlisberger's 65-point performance.
And that was like, what, Eddie Lacy's 0 and Jordy Nelson's 0.1 or something? What that is?
Yeah, Jordy Nelson had 1.67. Eddie Lacy had 16, but I had him on my bench.
You didn't start Eddie Lacy, retard.
Because I was running Ahmad Bradshaw and Joik Bell. It was a favorable matchup. Atlanta was terrible against the run at that point in time.
Why did you have your flex player not be Eddie Lacy?
Because I was getting the points that Jerick McKinnon
Unless
had.
you're playing...
Jerick McKinnon got a solid 8 points in your flex spot. That's decent for your flex position.
But Eddie Lacy will get you 16 and won the game. I mean, we can what if forever though. I mean, you just don't know.
No.
Like this week, I'm torn between Mark Ingram and because he plays Baltimore, and Gray. I think Mark Ingram's going to do fantastic. But it's Baltimore. And Gray, he did good last week, and the line looks really good for New England, but they play Detroit. So
that front four from Detroit is no joke.
It is a good. I know. I'm torn.
No
I have 2 days. I have a day to figure it out. But all right, let's jump around the football. You want to do some of your topics specifically? I just want to talk about teams in general.
You know what? At this point, as long as we have a list of 10 things, I think we're good to go.
You go first.
It's absurd to keep track that you have 10 and I have 10 because by the end of this, we probably talk about a grand total of 25 or 30.
Probably.
So calling it these 10 things, we should just call it this shit.
This shit podcast.
This shit podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with the AFC, NFC South because.
What? And we have a visitor. Go.
So we're just going to call the podcast Random Interruption because it's twice in a week now. Last week was my phone. This week, knock at my door. So random interruption.
It was a good interruption, though. Really
yes, I needed that part for the crib. So now baby will have a place to sleep.
So anyway, AFC South.
NFC South. Worst divisions in all of football.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much it's all. The Colts are so. There's so much polarity in that team. One week they look like they're the best offense in the history of mankind. Then they look like crap the next week.
He's only got Luck. Overall, only has one bad game this season.
Who was that against?
What?
Pittsburgh.
That was his worst game of the season. Wasn't it? That was terrible. I was there. No, wait, we were there the week before. No, here AFC South. 6-4, 5-5, 2-8, 1-9. NFC South 4-6, 4-6, 3-7, 2-8.
What was in the NFC South?
Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina, and Tampa Bay.
Jesus.
Like ridiculous.
Atlanta could win that division with like
Atlanta,
6 wins.
They could literally. We could have a team in the playoffs this year with a losing record.
That was a couple years ago. Seattle did that. They won 6. They were 6-10 and made the playoffs, and had a home game. Now that's a different topic in itself. Because I don't think if you're freaking 6-10 and you win your division, just because you have a shitty goddamn division doesn't mean you get a fucking home game. I think it should go to the team with a better record.
Yeah.
If New England is 15-1. Okay, and let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm just saying in general, not this is their actual topics or their records, and the Jets are 14-2. Let's just say it hypothetically. It's probably bad. No, let's just say let's go Denver. Denver's 15-1, and Kansas City is 14-2, and you got a team that's really shitty. Like I don't know. Let's say the Colts. The Colts are 8-8, but they win their division because the division's so bad. They should not get a home game because they won barely half of their games and they win by default. When you got a team like the Chiefs who go 14-2 and win a lot of games and are a lot more competitive, they deserve a home game. Yeah. Not because they lose their damn division, but because they're the better team and they have the better record. I hate that with a passion because you win your damn division, you get a home game. That's stupid. But the Patriots get it every year.
Dude, the NFL isn't going to change a single stupid thing about it because it happens so infrequently.
Maybe, but no.
I mean, I'm not the stat master. If we had Terrence sitting beside us, he could probably regurgitate every time that a losing team had a home game in the playoffs.
A couple years ago, the Redskins had a home game. And I like the fact that they had a home game. They didn't deserve a home game. And Green Bay had to go on the road. And Green Bay had a way better record than them. They were like 12-4, and the Redskins were 10-6. They were 10-6. And the Redskins did not deserve a home game. Okay. I like the Redskins, but they didn't deserve a home game, and that goes for anyone. Sorry, back to the main topic. I just wanted to go on that little tangent for 5 seconds.
No, it's just how terrible those divisions are, and it's pathetic because really we're talking about the Indianapolis Colts here. We're talking about Andrew Luck, who has been a preeminent top 5 in football all season long. He's money. He is guaranteed money.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are some good players in that division, like J.J. Watt and the Houston Texans. I mean, that's not a bad team. It's just they don't have all the parts.
Well, but see, the division record is acceptable because of how decent it is, minus Jacksonville, of course. I mean, it's 3. Indianapolis is 3-2 in the division, and Houston Texans are 2-3. That's fine to be that way in the division. But to be that good of a team and that good of a quarterback and still only be putting up 6 and 4? I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly who the 4 losses were to. Well, one of them was to Pittsburgh, but other than that,
I can tell you another one. Eagles.
Philly, okay, that's acceptable.
I think San Francisco.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
And what was week 1? Week 1 they got beat by someone. Week 1 they got beat by someone. I can't think of who it is off the top of my head. Not Arizona. Arizona beat San Diego week 1. Oh no, I know who it was. Denver.
Oh well. Yeah. All right. Well, they lost 4 good teams. 3 okay.
You know
teams.
what?
I'm tired of the conversation that San Francisco is still in it. They're not in it. They can't get their shit together. There's too much crap going on off the field that's wrecking that locker room. And you know what? Colin Kaepernick, at least they're not talking about him as much as they were last year.
And to be fair, Colin Kaepernick isn't as bad as I thought he was, but Arizona is just running away with that division. You're a huge Detroit. You're not a huge Detroit fan, but you like their team, and I think you're a closet Detroit fan to be honest. But I mean, we all hope.
Okay,
they do well.
Wait a minute. You're sitting in my house where I have a giant room full of Transformers, and you're wondering why I'm a Detroit fan.
Absolutely.
They got Megatron. Thank you.
Arizona. They just find ways to win, man. And Detroit held them to 14 points. How do you hold someone to 14 points and you can't put up 15? It's beyond me.
But that was, quite honestly, if you want to talk about, in my opinion, the 2 best defenses in the league right now is Detroit and Arizona. That's it. Those are the 2 best defenses in the league. When they were going head-to-head, I was surprised to see that Arizona got 14 points.
I would throw the Patriots in that mix. Because they were just loaded on the back end. They got Revis and what was it, Browner? That's his name? Browner?
I have no idea.
They are loaded on the back end. They just look good the last 5 weeks.
I'll give Gronkowski his props. I still think he's an asshole, but he's a great tight end. Probably the tight end in the league. Tom Brady, I hate his guts, but he's good, and I can't argue that. Gostowski is money. If you want to ball through the uprights, put Gostowski out there. He's money.
The best one in the league is Bailey still for Dallas.
So his percentage is higher?
His percentage is, he's got the best. He's in the records for like the highest percentage over your first like 100 kicks or something.
Huh.
And it's like in the 90s, like 97 or something like that. It's ridiculous how good he is. All because they just get like on a 20 and they can't score. It's probably why. I don't know. Well, in the past, not so much this year, but in the past, they get like a 20, and either he would just get a chip shot field goal, or they would turn it over. So that was the thing in the past. This year, he's getting a lot more touchdowns than just extra points than he is field goals. So that's the difference between last year and this year. But it's neither here nor there.
Point is, that's the only credit anyone on that team's ever going to get from me, because I fucking hate New England Patriots. I hate Belichick. I hate his bullshit. I hate his fantasy bullshit. I hate all of his bullshit.
I don't hate Revis. There's a lot of guys on that team I like. Don't get me wrong. I think
Revis is kind of.
I like Tom Brady. I think he's still a good quarterback. And there was talk mid-season that he was done. They should trade him while he has value.
Well, yeah.
Then he goes on like 5 games. They're on like a 5 or 6 game winning streak right now. And they're blowing teams out. They're not just winning; they are beating teams.
I am not completely uncertain that he did not sell his soul to the devil.
You're not completely uncertain about that? Well, look at his wife.
I think he sold his soul to the devil. I am fairly certain. Actually, I said that backwards. But I'm fairly certain that he sold his soul to the devil, and that's why he has everything he has. He was there on the practice squad one day, taking a shit in a porta-john because they weren't allowed to use the real bathrooms because they're the practice squad. And he was sitting there freezing his ass off, and he begged the devil to give him some prosperity, and then shit just happened.
I just think he's an opportunist, and he took advantage of a good opportunity handed to him.
What third-string kicker in the league wouldn't love that opportunity? Kellen Moore.
Kicker or quarterback?
What did I say?
You said kicker.
Oh.
Quarterback.
Player then.
I don't think any team has a third string. The third string kicker is probably like their backup center or something.
No, it's the backup place kicker holder is also a kicker. Holder. That's how it is.
I'd like to be a third string long snapper in the NFL. That'd be the easiest job ever.
I don't know. Third string quarterback in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is pretty reliable to be there most of the time.
Yeah.
And Matt Flynn's okay.
What's the third string quarterback? Is it Tolzien still?
Jimmy?
Tolzien. Yeah.
Oh.
Tolzien or something.
yeah.
Tolzien
Whatever.
or something. Anyway, Green Bay. There's another one. Do you realize they're outscoring teams in the first half? Like, I think it was over the last 6 games, 149 to 9.
Oh yeah, the stats are ridiculous on that.
In the first half. I mean, I don't see that happening. I think in 2 weeks they play New England. I don't foresee that happening with New England.
There's only 2.
No. I'm sorry. It's all home games. I'm sorry. It's home games. They are like that. I mean, that's how good Lambeau Field is right now.
That game, and we will be talking about it in 2 weeks. I'm sure of it. One of 2 things is going to happen. Either it is going to be a scoring juggernaut, and the last person holding the ball with 1 second left on the clock wins, or it is going to be the lowest scoring game in either of those two for those 2 teams this season. I'm calling it right now. It's not going to be a blowout.
I think the X factor is going to be the Patriots defense in that game. Because you can say what you want. Green Bay's defense has been okay this year. It's been pretty good in the first half. In the second half, it's pretty much phoning it in because they don't have to blitz and stop the run. They just have to make sure to keep teams out of the end zone consistently on passes. Huh?
Prevent.
Yeah. But I trust the Patriots defense a lot better than I trust the Green Bay defense.
I wouldn't go to sleep on them.
I'm not. I mean, that could be the X factor is the defense. That's all I'm saying.
They have put up a 50-point game in fantasy this year.
I mean, we will see because Jordy Nelson, they put Revis on him. I mean, we'll see how good. I think Aaron Rodgers is the best. Don't get me wrong.
Well, but go ahead. You put Revis on Jordy. I still got Cobb. I still got Devontae.
They still have Brandon Browner
squirting around, and New England's not the only people running around with 3 to 4 tight ends.
I mean, I don't think defending them is going to be an issue because look what they did to the Broncos. I don't think defending them is going to be that big an issue because look what they did to the Broncos.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they know how to handle a lot of receiving. Now there's a huge difference between Julius Thomas and Gronkowski. I mean, Gronkowski is the new Tony Gonzalez, as in he's the best tight end in the league. There's no one better than Gronkowski.
Yeah. As long as he's
him and Jimmy Graham are 1-2, and then maybe Julius Thomas. Julius Thomas only because he plays with Peyton Manning.
Well,
he wouldn't be good on any other team. I don't think he'd be that good on any other team.
Peyton Manning's an opportunist. He's doing. I honestly think Rodgers is pulling a play out of Peyton Manning's book. He's being an opportunist. Oh, this guy's covered. That guy's covered. That guy's covered. That guy's covered. Oh, look, Eddie Lacy's standing there all by himself. Here, Eddie, have the ball.
He can. I heard him talking about this on Sunday, or how he throws the ball. He can be on the run and throw the ball across his body, and he's just so like. There's some quarterbacks, and RG3 is one of them, that they don't plant their feet and throw right. That ball's just not going there. Aaron Rodgers is just so good. He can have a guy hanging on his one arm, and he can still throw the ball with pinpoint. Fastball accuracy and put it where he needs to put it. He can throw that ball and drop it right over receivers, over the linebackers. Mm-hmm. Perfect. There's no one better at it. Maybe Tom Brady is just as good. Maybe Tom Brady.
Now that's the Super Bowl. They asked me at the beginning of the season, Super Bowl I wanted to see. I wanted to see Denver and Green Bay.
I said Arizona and the Patriots.
That's the one you want to see?
I said I want to see Arizona out of the NFC, and I wanted to see. I thought the Patriots would go. I had the Patriots pick to win the whole thing. To be honest.
Seriously?
So, yeah. What?
You pick them every year.
I didn't pick them last year. Last year I picked San Diego.
You picked them to win the division.
They always won the division. Look at the division. Look at the division. I mean, they could still lose a couple games, but they're not gonna lose that division. Unless Miami really is good on defense as they say they are, I don't think they're going to lose it.
Well, Miami's got the only shot in beating them in the division.
What's Miami's record?
6-4.
And what are the Patriots? 9-3, 9-2,
8-2,
8-2. Yeah, I don't.
They could. They're the only one that could catch them at this point. Because I'm sorry, Buffalo Bills at 5-5. I don't see them winning 6 in a row.
No, they don't. Yeah, 6 in a row. They don't have a quarterback. They have
New York,
which Kyle Orton hasn't done bad, but Kyle Orton.
New York could get to 500.
Yeah, they're not going to get to it. see, that's going on a tangent that I'm going to say this right now. My Redskins are a pain in my ass. and we're gonna get to this tangent later when we talk about a top 10 reason ESPN pisses us off. The Redskins do not play defense. How does a rookie beat you that bad? If he gets 100 yards, you think you can stop him from getting up to 200?
Nope.
Seriously.
Not with the Redskins, but never mind that. That's all RG3's fault.
It's not RG3's fault.
Don't you watch TV?
I do watch TV.
Every game they've lost this season, it's been his fault.
No, okay. I'm going to go ahead and go on this tangent since you brought it.
Well, hey, it's on the list. We're talking about the Redskins. We must flow into it.
I'm going to flow into it.
What did I tell you about segues?
The Redskins piss me off because in the media piss me off because they don't tell the whole story. First game of the season, RG3 got sacked, I think it was 7 or 8 times, and he got knocked down 5. That's 13 times he got touched. And you can't throw the ball accurately when you got J.J. Watt in your face. If you can't block someone, double team him or something, you're not going to be able to throw the football. And he had 2 interceptions, okay? 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. For the record, that 1 touchdown is the only points they scored.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, 2 interceptions, that was all done in the first half. What happened in the second half? No defense was played. I think it was 17-10, 7 at half, or 13-7, something to that degree. And you can't play defense. You can't establish a running game with Alfred frickin' Morris and Roy Helu Jr.
You should be able to establish.
Now, I lobbied for Gruden to get head coaching job. You know what I want now? And I hope I get what I want. I love getting what I want. I want the Jets to fire Rex Ryan. And I want the Redskins to hire him as a defensive coordinator. We are already more talented than they are on the defense.
You want Rex and Rob to both be defensive coordinators again?
Yes,
okay.
I do. Because Rex Ryan is a defensive genius. Look what he does. Name me one defender he has on his football team.
Who?
Rex.
I don't know.
Exactly. He used to have.
He
used to have Cromartie. He used to have Revis. He used to be loaded. He used to have a very good defense. Lon Landry, there's another one.
Yeah.
He used to be loaded on defense, and now he doesn't have all those players, and he's still held the Patriots to 20 points?
Yeah. Okay. RG3 has been sacked and lost yardage 101 times.
See? 101 times.
He's still got a rating at 88, which is better than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Well, what about Colt McCoy? I'm sure Colt McCoy's is very high.
107, but
that's one game.
But look at it. The numbers, I mean, if you're looking, attempts to completions is 42 to 36. Then you go to RG3 is 100 to 72, and then Cousins is 204 to 126. What did we establish last week? You miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah. Well, Kirk Cousins, I'll go ahead and say this. I don't think he's a horrible quarterback. Now, my opinion of Kirk Cousins was trade him before he loses value. Because a lot of teams wanted him. Like, for example, Buffalo was going to offer us like 2 second-rounders. And we needed second-rounders because we didn't have first-round draft picks the last 2 years.
Should have taken him.
Yeah, because now he's lost value because he comes out of the huddle and he basically predetermines where he's throwing the football, come hell or high water, and that's why he has so many interceptions. Now, I blame coaching a little bit. If your quarterback is young and not that good, pound the football. Alfred, we have a good run-blocking offensive line. It's our pass blocking that's horrible.
Yeah, they can't buy him any time.
Yeah, they can't.
The stats don't lie about that at all.
If we ran more, we could run. We don't run enough draws. We don't run screens. We don't slip out a safety valve for RG3 because they're too busy trying to protect him, and they do a horrible job of that anyway. Why don't you just slip out a safety valve and let him hit the safety valve for 10 yards?
Well, but I mean, since you're talking about that, you also got to look at how successful Kirk Cousins was with his attempts and touchdown percentage, amount of touchdowns, yards per attempt. Why is it that line seems to hold just a second longer, or is it that Kirk Cousins is just a pocket passer and he's more aware of pocket closure?
I haven't seen all of their games, to be fair. I can only see what's on TV. The games I have seen with both of them, with Kirk Cousins, they seem to be utilizing only 5-man line. Like they put more guys in the passer routes. Because he's Kirk Cousins, he's a backup. It doesn't matter if he gets hurt. I'm serious. In RG3, they leave a tight end in, they leave a running back in to protect him. So to make sure their franchise player doesn't get hurt. Rather than letting him be RG3, letting him roll out, and if he has nothing, run it out of bounds or toss it. They're just trying to make him a pocket quarterback. He's not a pocket passer. He can throw the ball good, don't get me wrong, but he's better on the run because he just makes defenses choose. We're going to run up and tackle RG3. We're going to defend this guy that's in the flats, and he gets 5 yards. You can easily just get out of bounds or whatever.
They need to give him the option then. I don't know. I wasn't a huge believer in RG3 when they sent him there. I seen his college stats. It was what it was. As far as him starting, I wasn't sure. I didn't figure he'd be ready for a couple of years because I think he needed to do some understudy stuff. But saying that, it also doesn't help when upper ownership is telling middle management how to do their jobs.
No, that's a real issue right there.
Well, that is the issue because ownership, Dan, is down here forcing. Shit, I lost his name.
Gruden.
Yeah, forcing Gruden to do this, to do that, put him in now, take him out. Yeah, no, I understand how Jerry Jones does it in Dallas, and we saw how terrible that works. I don't see why Dan Snyder would adopt that same ideology in Washington.
I'm going to explain why I am sold on RG3. The last time the Redskins made the playoffs, before 2 years ago when we played Seattle, was 2007 when Sean Taylor was murdered. And the team rallied, and then Joe Gibbs rallied the troops, and with Todd Collins, because we had a quarterback injured, Todd Collins drove us into the playoffs. They went on like a 5-game tear and drove us right in the playoffs.
Went on his heels.
And we got a win, and then we got a loss to Seattle in Seattle. Okay, so that's how that played out. Now, we haven't had a playoff appearance until RG3's rookie season. When that year, same crappy offensive line, Alfred Morris running back, rookie, even though he's good, and he didn't have a backup either because Helu Jr. was injured. Did not have Pierre Garçon half the season. He did not have a decent type. Fred Davis was injured the whole season. They had to bring Cooley back. I mean, Cooley came out of retirement just to help them so they had enough bodies. Kerrigan was injured. Arakpo was injured. Our secondary was bad. Our defense was pretty darn bad. The whole team was a wreck. And he put them on his back, and that's probably why his knee gave out, and just carried them to the playoffs. And we were up 14-0 in 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes of that game against Seattle before he tweaked his knee. And then Shanahan says, "You're staying in the game because we're going to win this because we're going to ride your knee all the way to the Super Bowl."
Yeah,
and then he gets injured. Then don't get me started on Shanahan. But that is why I'm sold on him.
That's why they call him Shanahanigans.
Yep. That is why I'm sold on him. Now, you can't, as a Redskin fan, other people can have an outside view like, well, he's not a pocket passer. He's just a runner. No, he is a baller. He is a playmaker. I've watched every game that year. He is a playmaker. He does the right things with the football at times. Okay? That year he did a lot. Now, the issue that the Redskins have is they don't have a team unity because of the underminement of the management.
Yeah.
Okay, so not everyone does their job 100%, and it all falls back on RG3 because it just irritates me how much slack or how much crap he gets for how bad the defense is, how bad his offensive line is. When you take a 3-step drop and you're already having to take a step forward to avoid getting sacked, that's bad. That is bad news for any quarterback. No quarterback can be good under those circumstances.
No.
Look how good Peyton Manning was in the Super Bowl. Or last week against the Rams. They were in his face the whole game.
Well, but
no quarterback can be that good under those circumstances. And we're getting on a way tangent here. We just took 20
Actually, no, you just kind of wrapped up your entire point by coming back to RG3, and the whole problem is not his, it's with what's around him. So you actually wrapped that. That was the best you've wrapped one up so far.
Yeah.
I'm kind of impressed. I was sitting there looking in awe, like, oh my God, he's actually going to do it. He's going to make a complete opening and closing argument. Good for you.
No. What really hurts RG3 is the fact that his rookie year, with no weapons, he carried the team. So that is the expectation now. So all of his teammates lean on him a lot to do that. So guys got lazy. They don't run the routes well. They don't block well. Well, we got RG3 back there. He'll just run a first down if we don't block good enough. Yeah. Oh, we got RG3. Well, I mean, if I'm not open initially, he'll find someone else. It's RG3. That's the way they're thinking. And I know it's probably very condescending and snarky for me to think that's how professional athletes are. But if you watch the game, I mean, do they not look like that?
Yeah.
They don't finish things. They don't finish their routes. And their defense is like, we can give up 30 points. RG3 is going to get at least 35. So, anyways,
It does.
there was our tangent. There was my tangent. So I have that on
was
the
a
record.
point you were going to make anyway. So
Eventually.
we're still on topic. It's not like we don't have to come back to it. We can just roll
Okay,
through
so we
it.
talked about the Patriots, Arizona, Green Bay. Do you want to talk about the Broncos?
The Broncos are the Broncos. It's Peyton Manning. Well, of course, oh God, Emmanuel Sanders, Julius Thomas, Monte Ball. They are injured
Wes Welker.
as hell.
Wes Walker, if you just tap him on the head, he's gonna get a concussion.
I feel bad for the dude.
I do.
You put the smallest guy on any roster anywhere in the league, and your job is to run through the middle and catch the ball and not die. Now, he's gotten pretty good at not dying, but he's come close.
And he looks like Dark Helmet. His helmet's so big. He looks like a walking bobblehead.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Wes Welker is 50% cat because the dude's got 9 lives. Because some of those hits he's taken, I'm pretty sure if anyone would even hit me half as hard as that, I'd be dead. My neck would snap like a toothpick.
Now, back on the Emmanuel Sanders, man, I listened to this and I saw it like a couple times on replay. And to be fair, I don't think that was a targeting play.
It was a shoulder-to-shoulder hit. However, it was pass interference because you can't hit him before he.
I'll give you the pass interference.
But in being pass interference, it's also a hit on a defenseless receiver.
No, because he didn't launch. He did not launch. If you leave your feet, that is what being hit on a defenseless receiver is. If you leave your feet. Now, I'll grant you that he didn't play the ball.
He wasn't playing the ball.
He didn't play the ball.
He was playing the hit.
He was playing the hit. That's fine. That's football. That is part of football.
But you gotta let him.
There are guys. I understand that, but there are guys that will make that catch, get a concussion, make that catch.
He couldn't make the catch because he got hit before the ball was there.
I'm not disagreeing with that point. I'm just saying that you still need to catch the football.
Okay, and then we could be Wes Welker and we could be out 3 times a season with a concussion.
Now, see, the whole defenseless receiver thing irritates me because I've seen the whole head injury thing is stupid. I would rather get a concussion than blow out my knee again, to be completely honest. And every NFL player will agree with that statement because knee injury like if you tear your ACL, the recovery from that is brutal. Just flat out brutal. I mean, I feel really bad for Sam Bradford. He's got to go through another 3rd ACL tear recovery surgery and the rehab and stuff. It's so painful.
I'm sure it is, but I'm just after so many tears, you got to realize that maybe your body wasn't meant to do the job you're doing.
Well, maybe, or maybe she's just not hit guys low or high. You aim right for the middle. If you break a guy's rib, you break a rib. You can play with a broken rib. You can't play without a knee. You can't play without your head.
Have you done anything with broken ribs?
Yes, I've done. Yes, I have.
It hurts like hell.
You can't breathe, but you can. You have another lung. It hurts to breathe.
It hurts to breathe. It hurts to laugh. It hurts to sneeze.
There's difference between
shit.
There's difference between pain and there's difference between being unable to physically perform. If you can't walk, you can't physically play. That's why if you hit someone in the from your above the knees and below the neck, if you break an arm, you can cast it up and put a pad over it and still play.
They don't let them do that as much anymore.
Not as much because guys just use it as weapons. But you can still do that if you break your forearm.
It's still so awesome when they got that club on you.
I love it. But defenseless receiver.
Don't you love how I just suck you somewhere else? We just go into another part of the conversation.
And I just come right back. I'm like a yo-yo, just right back. Zoop.
Yo-yo.
Okay. If he were to launch at him and hit him, now. If he would have moved his head to protect himself, and then the guy would have hit shoulder to head, that would have been targeting. But the guy is not defenseless because he's trying to protect himself. That's the argument to this whole point. If a guy moves his head to protect himself, that he's technically not defenseless.
The only way
that
dude's head moved was side to side after he got fucking rocked and hit the ground.
If anything, he got whiplash. He can probably
hit the ground like a ton of shit.
He got rocked. Boom. That was a hit.
He didn't move his head. He was defenseless because he was doing this. He wasn't even looking over here.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm not talking about that one.
We're talking about Emmanuel Sanders.
Right? I'm talking about in general. I was just going off on a tangent about that in general. But there's one that happened in preseason. Excuse me. Where Swearinger, the Broncos were playing the Texans, and Swearinger went to hit shoulder to chest of Wes Welker because Wes Welker went over the middle.
Yeah, but Wes Welker's only 5'8".
Yes, but he would have hit him in the chest, but Wes Welker saw that coming and ducked his head, and it turned into look like a targeting hit because he hit him shoulder pad to head.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I saw that one, and I agreed wholeheartedly that it should not have been flagged
he is trying to protect himself.
Wes Welker tried to turtle up.
If I go to punch you in the dick, are you gonna let me do it? You're gonna protect yourself. That's a defensive mechanism we all have, is to kind of fetal up.
You turtle up.
We turtle up. And then he moves his. So I don't understand why that's such a big deal. Now I understand if you're leading with your helmet, that's fine. But if you lead with your shoulder, the guy gets his helmet in the way, so be it.
Okay, well, you know what? Since we're talking about the inconsistency of the NFL and all of their bullshit, we might as well get on to Adrian Peterson really fast.
Okay.
We're not going to go political discussion time on this, not at all. Point is, NFL put out their guidelines. If you do this, you get 4 games. You do it again, you're out.
Yeah.
How many games are left in the season?
I think it's week 12.
Okay, there's 4 games left in the season. They're not saying they're giving Adrian Peterson a 4-game suspension. They're saying they're suspending him for the rest of the season.
There's 6 games left.
Oh, there's 6 games left.
Because you have bye weeks in there.
Okay, so now they're going to suspend him 6 games.
Well, there's a bye week in that mix, but okay. I get what you're saying. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Even though he was not technically found guilty, he pleaded no contest.
Mm-hmm.
If he does everything he's supposed to do, like a good little boy, in 2 years it'll be expunged. It'll never have existed. Now Roger Goodell's playing God again and saying you're suspended for the rest of the season.
He's just.
You got it. If this is your point, this is the policy that you put forth because of all that pressure you were under from all these groups saying you need a stronger policy. They put the policy forward. Here's your 4 games. This is how we're going to do it.
No.
They let him go to that exempt list. They could have just let that been time served, make him give back 4 games worth of salary, 4 weeks worth of salary, and called it a day. Everyone would have been happy. But you're saying he can't even touch a ball until April 15th of next year? That's more than 4 games, Mr. Goodell.
So this is where my issue with due process in this country comes along. I won't get into it, but if someone were to hit my car or cause damage to it, and I want to take it to civil court to get it paid for because he wants to contest that, it was my fault, not yours, or so on and so forth, that could take months. Am I not supposed to drive my broken car? Am I not supposed to do this stuff? Am I not supposed to get it fixed? Am I supposed to let it go until due process is done?
You got to carry on about your life.
Yeah. Example with Ray Rice. He hits his wife in February. I don't think he actually got punished for it until, right before week 1, right?
Yeah.
Like right before week 1 of the NFL season, which is September. I'm saying with Adrian Peterson. He got kicked off the team week 2 because of what he got cut. Let me just say it that way. He got cut week 2 or 3. And we're on week whatever it was. Yeah, and last week was whenever they decided to, he had his court hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Why take that long? All the facts are on the internet, for God's sakes. You can see all the pictures of his kid getting hit. Why is it so long to get due process, which is not due process, it's due whenever I feel like it.
It's all about who's greasing the judge's wheels.
You have a parking ticket and you want to get paid for it and get it off your record, you don't go to court and just get it done recently. You go to court when they want you to, 90 days from then. So you got to worry about it for 90 days rather than just getting taken care of, getting back to your life, and not having peace of mind. But that's neither here nor there.
No, but my point wasn't meaning to go into all that, but the point is that if they can't get their punishment and discipline policies straight across the board, how do you expect officiating to be called straight across the board?
Well, I don't blame officiating for making the call on Emmanuel Sanders. They're just doing what they're told.
Well, no, that was pass interference. If it was,
they didn't call pass interference. They called unnecessary roughing and targeting. Because he almost threw him out.
Well, he should have.
He should have done it. No, he shouldn't have. I mean, he's on my fantasy team. I was pissed about it, but
Sanders, that's on Harvey's.
On the other league.
Oh,
the other league.
See, this is what happens when you start playing more and more.
I wanted to play 3, but the other one was filled. To be completely honest. So.
Okay, well, while we're on unfair bullshit that pisses us off, that fucking asshole Saints fan, that cum guzzling fuck.
Thundercunt.
Fucking fuck you. Fuck your mother. Fuck every generation of your family that's ever set foot on this fucking soil. She just wanted a ball. She was at least wearing a Bengals jersey. there you are wearing your Saints gold. And you know what? Had he not thrown the ball correctly and tossed it up and it came right in your lap, all right, whatever. Bad throw by a guy who should know better. Whatever. No, you throw your elbow up in that girl's face and snake it from her. You're such a fucking cocksucking piece of shit. Like, there's not a nice thing about you, your family, or anyone you ever know. And the worst part about it is, if you were white and that little girl was black, this would be talked about for months to come, and it's no bullshit. Fuck you and your race card.
Well, I have a little bit of a counter argument to this. He is a Saints fan. His team's getting his ass kicked. It's like, you're in his house and his team. He just probably didn't want you to get anything. That's all.
Elbow to a girl's face. He's no better than Ray Rice. He's no better than Ray Rice.
Don't turn this into male and female. Don't turn it.
He's no better than Ray Rice.
Don't turn it into male and female. We want equality. Take the male and female thing out of it. I think he should have just given her the ball. I understand that. But, well, in fairness to the girl, if you're a Saints fan, why the hell do you want a touchdown ball from the other team?
No. He was the Saints fan.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He was the Bengals fan.
Yeah, the Bengals fan. The Bengals scored and tried to give the ball to a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
Why would you want a ball, if you're a Saints fan, that was scored by the other team? That's what I'm saying.
I have no idea. That's what blows my mind. But what are you going to do? Put that on yourself? What are you going to do?
It's not a male-female thing. Don't make it a male. It's a sports thing. This is what the guy says. Like, I've never gotten a game ball before. It was my only opportunity I've ever gotten, because it was the closest seats I've ever had. That was his argument. But I like what the tight end, the guy who scored there, I think it was Gresham.
Yeah, it was Gresham.
He said, he talked to the Saints owner, said, get the name of whoever that was, the girl and her friend, and I'll give them both each like a signed ball and some tickets to the next game or whatever.
Well, and you know what? This comes back to another point. Hats off to the Saints players and the Saints organization. Their fans might fucking suck a fat dick, but those players and that organization is stand up. And if you listen to Fox Sports, God help you, get some accurate news. Terry Bradshaw reported at the end of their telecast on Sunday that that guy had given the girl the ball because the Saints organization made him. That's not what happened. The Saints organization went down on the field, grabbed another game ball, and gave it to her.
Yeah.
That's the accuracy of it. And Sean Payton buying 100 Devin Stills jerseys. Now, I know that was talked about, that happened months ago. But they had a moment there on that field, and that's a stand-up organization. Those are stand-up players and stand-up guys. So my hat's off to them.
Well, I think it's when it comes to stand-up organizations, you have, there's one, the Saints. Patriots is another one. You may not like them. But
Robert Kraft is a very generous man.
The Broncos, to a degree. Now, they have some issues, but I don't want to get too much into that. And I would say the Steelers are your stand-up. What?
John always a dude.
He is. Dude, okay, you want to talk about one of the most successful franchises in, like, pro football? They've had less than 10 years of not making the playoffs. They've consistently made playoffs every year. It's consistency ever since they've existed. They've had only about 10 seasons where they have not made the playoffs. That's pretty darn good.
Are we talking about New England or Pittsburgh?
I'm talking about the Broncos.
Yeah.
New England had some shitty decades before Bill Belichick.
Well, Steelers have never been absolutely abysmal.
I said Steelers were up there too. That's why they have like the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule now.
The Rooney Rule.
If you're going to interview for a job, you at least have to interview a different ethnicity than white. That was the rule made by them.
I'm making a rule now. As far as being politically correct goes, that shit's out the window. I'm white, you're white, he's black, he's brown, he's whatever.
Yeah.
We are what we are.
I don't see the point in making it a race thing, but that's just hire the best guy. And I like Tomlin. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the Steelers one damn bit. You know me.
I like the rule in its face, but I don't like the way it comes off because essentially it seems like affirmative action for head coaches.
I don't want to get too much into political. Affirmative action is reverse racism. So it's okay to be racist against a white person.
There is no such thing as reverse racism. If you're black and you don't like white people, you're racist. If you're white and you don't like black people, you're racist.
No,
There's no such thing as reverse racism.
What I mean by reverse racism is it's okay to discriminate against white people or whatever ethnicity for whatever it is.
Whatever the majority is.
Whatever, yeah. I mean, whatever the majority is. But it's not okay to discriminate. Which I don't think discrimination in general is a good thing. But I'm just saying, the argument to it is stupid. It's okay to not give someone something because of the color of their skin and to give someone else because of theirs. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's just give the best person available the job, and you don't have an issue. Don't put a name or face to it. Just give credentials or whatever. We're getting just
political done.
Okay, let's go to Ryan Mount real quick, and then we gotta get off football. We're gonna lose half our audience here because half our audience is like.
We have an audience.
We do.
5
we
people.
Have an audience. Yep, all 5 of them.
Nice. Yeah, Ryan Mallett, surprise of the week. I did not expect those numbers out of him at all. Not at all.
What do you have? Like 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, about 350 yards.
I didn't have that one up. I
think that's about it. If I had to guess.
Articles, videos, photos.
But I texted you and I'm like, Ryan Mallett, didn't see that one coming. You did say we need to give him 3 weeks before we account him for real.
Yeah, you can't just like go off and be like, hey.
You know, it would be awesome if they won out and they took the Colts' place in the winning the AFC South.
It's terrible.
What? I would love that.
I had to remember which team he even played for.
Houston. How many yards did he have last game?
I'm looking.
Look faster.
Now look at this. There's the freaking draft. Who they drafted this year. Why does that even need to be up?
Well, they drafted Clowney instead of Menzel. That's why. They should have drafted Menzel.
Seriously, where did you see that? Because I didn't see that.
Right there. I thought it was right there.
That's Fitzpatrick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just go to the game. Go to the NFL branch. You can get all the stats from the game.
I am at the NFL.
Oh,
all right, here. No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Go ahead. By the way, this podcast is brought to you by Gary's Tube Steak. He beats it, you eat it. Give him a call at 1-800 fuck in your mouth.
Seriously?
Yeah. You get his stats?
Yes.
Took you long enough. That's all I'm saying.
20 completions, 30 attempts, 66%, 211 yards. Average was 7, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Passer rating at 95.3. Rushing, 4 attempts for -3 yards. So, I'm not talking about his rushing stats, but overall, first game in the NFL, 2 for 1 is good.
Yeah.
2 for 1 is good.
Not bad. It's not his first game in the NFL. I thought he started a couple times for New England, didn't it?
Did he?
A couple times. I know he was played.
2013. No, he didn't play in 13. He played in 2012.
Well, 13 they weren't as good.
Games.
They had to play to get their spot in the playoffs, but usually they don't have to. Anyway.
How do you play in 4 games and get 1 completion for 4 attempts?
Because you go in and kneel the ball. That's why.
That's it. All right. So essentially, that was his first game.
Yeah.
That was his first actual. I'm going to do something.
And the Browns aren't slouches on defense.
No, they're not.
They're not slouches on defense.
They don't get the credit they deserve.
No, they don't. Well, look at their lineup. What do you got? Hayden. Is Hayden on the team? No. Yeah, Hayden's a corner. Corner. He is a corner. Hittner. It's another one.
Hittner. That sticks out in my mind. The Browns. They don't.
I think they're just well coached this year. There's a better coach this year. I think that helped a lot. The Browns. I mean, what's the Browns record? 7-4.
They're top of the division, aren't they?
Well, they lost. The Steelers are probably on top. Well, it might be a 3-way. Well, Cincinnati did win, so Cincinnati might be on top. And that goes into my topic, the parity of the league. Bears.
The Bears. Go Bears.
How do you lose that bad and then win? Gosh, I just don't understand it. God, it is beyond me how
fucking ridiculous.
That's kind of the irony of the NFL. Other than like a couple teams like the Patriots and the Broncos, one year you're horrible, next year you're good. 1 week you're the best defense in the league, next week you get 400 yards on you and give up 5 touchdowns. I don't understand that for the life of me. How that parity is that much.
Here's your stat. Here's your stat. The AFC North is the winningest division in football by just wins and losses.
Oh man, Cleveland Browns are in last place and they're 6-4.
At 6-4, with Baltimore at 6-4, Pittsburgh at 7-4, and Cincy at 6-3-1. That's a good division. Let's find a 4-sided coin and toss it.
Yeah, or just
That's if we said it last week. I'll say it again. If Cleveland wins that division, even being a Steeler fan, I will be very happy for him. Very happy.
So would I. I'm pulling for him. That's what I pull for in that division. Okay. Do we want to stay on football or you want to bounce around something else?
I think we just beat the shit out of football.
Yeah, that's almost an hour.
The Bears.
The Bears.
I bitched about Big Ben. I bitched about the asshole Saints fan. I actually got to talk about the race card. AFC, NFC North, Ryan Mallett, and you being a points chaser. So I'm good.
Okay, Philly sucks. Sanchez, you're horrible. Or maybe their defense is that good. I don't know. Green Bay's defense can't be that good, but
Eagles' defense has been lights out.
I'm not talking about Eagles' defense. I'm talking about
this year.
How bad the Green Bay Packers defense is supposed to be, and Sanchez still had 2 turnovers. Anyway.
I told you Green Bay was underrated. They had a 50-point game this year.
50-point game this year. That's true. Didn't they have like a 40-some point game last night or the other night?
Yeah, 48.
48, yeah. And beer. Still got it. All right, let's get off football here.
Arrow.
God, I love this show.
It's getting better and better. And after watching Flash last night and seeing a preview for Flash versus Arrow, and last night, if you weren't
see that.
Well, they threw up the preview. I was gonna start prattling on, but
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Last night they established him as the Flash,
not the Streak.
Yeah, they got rid of the Streak.
The Hood rather than the Green Arrow.
Yes, it's officially established now. He has his official name. He is the Flash. Nice. You really need to watch the episode. The end of it is mind blowing. Good stuff.
I'll start that right now. Get on my website and just start downloading it. By the time the podcast is done, I can go and watch it.
Thank God I have much more bandwidth than you.
Yeah, my bandwidth is horrible. Let me start on my bandwidth in my house.
No, but if for whatever reason you've all missed out on Arrow at this point, you need to be watching it. Even if you're not a comic book fan, it's just a good show regardless. Great show.
So you're caught up now. We can talk about some stuff, right?
Spoiler alert. I'm completely caught up.
Okay, so
not for tonight. Tonight. This is Wednesday. We're not going to be talking about tonight's episode yet. We don't have that kind of connection.
I wish we did. That'd be awesome if I could watch the episodes.
Hey, that happened once with the
Arrow or
Flash premiere. Yeah, we saw that like 2 months.
That's because it was the pilot.
Somebody hacksorted.
Maybe. That was just a pilot though, but still good. Pilot was the first episode, right?
Yeah, it was the pilot.
Same exact. Maybe a couple more graphics done in here and there, but pretty much still pretty awesome.
It was.
Where the hell is Flash at? I can't. I don't know words.
Well, you started the Arrow conversation, so.
Okay, Arrow. So, Roy thought he killed Sarah, but he didn't. But it wasn't him. So I wondered, is that Cupid lady? At the end of the last episode?
Why would Cupid kill Sarah? Well, whoever Cupid is would have to know a shitload about Oliver, including who he is. Because seeing the first Canary with the Green Arrow, you know what I mean? You got to be watching pretty good, especially when you consider the surveillance team and what's going on. It's not like Ollie's one you can pull the wool over his eyes.
Yeah.
You really need to be in the background hiding.
I mean, the only one that was able to actually kind of do that was villain last season. I can't think of his name. Deathstroke. There we go.
Yeah.
Because he hacked in all of his stuff. He was actually found his base, so on and so forth.
But he stayed one step ahead of him.
Yeah.
It's not like he was in the shadows. He was just thinking ahead. He knew what he was going to do, and he went ahead and did it. Oliver's used to having to think on the spot within a minute, not within a day.
Yeah. Yeah, completely agree with that. I just love this show so much. You have no idea how much I enjoy this show.
Well, you're the one who told me to watch it, so
thank God you listened. Okay, so who do you think did it then? I don't think it was that Cupid chick, even though she does have a bow.
I don't think it was Malcolm Merlin because he doesn't have a motive.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a thing against Sarah. So I think
we didn't even know who Sarah was. Didn't even know the Canary was alive.
Yeah. Because Canary wasn't in season 1, was it? Or season 2? Yeah, season 1. It wasn't in season 1.
You sure? I was thinking she showed up at the end of season 1.
She showed up midway through the beginning of season 2.
Okay.
I mean, she might have showed up. No, she wasn't even there season 1. She wasn't there at all.
Well, yeah, because they left it off. They left it that she died in the boat accident and then brought it back in season 2. Well,
so season 2 was about Deathstroke, and she was a part of the struggle against Deathstroke.
Yeah,
on that ship. Yeah,
that's when she came in, because at the end of season 1, you just thought Oliver was a terrible person to let some hot chick get swept out to sea while he was trying to better.
Butter. Butter.
Okay.
And so who do you think did it? I want to say it was a member of the League of Shadows.
I don't think so.
Assassins. Why not?
Roz seemed very surprised that Oliver was protecting Merlin. Like, as if he had no reason to even be over in Star City whatsoever at all.
Hmm.
So I don't think it was the League at all. And we know it's not Deathstroke because...
Could it have been a metahuman from Flash?
Could that be leading up to the 2-part, 2-night event?
Maybe.
Okay.
I
would put money on that because that would be the mid-season finale for both those shows.
I kind of thought for a second maybe it was Roy, but he doesn't have Mirakuru in his system. He's just having these like flashbacks in these dreams and shit.
Well, it's a classic case of psychological disassociation. Yeah. Like, I feel guilty about something, but this tragic event has happened in my life, so I did this event even though you had nothing to do it. That's classic.
Yeah.
Textbooks.
God, I wish I knew. I want to know who did it. It's like die a horrible death.
Keep watching the show.
I think Deathstroke's loose.
He can't be loose this soon. There's too many other cool things to go on first.
Could be member of the Suicide Squad. There's a...
the setup for the Suicide Squad is coming later this season.
But it could have been something from... Because Amanda Waller, is that her name?
Well, whoever did it threw the arrows.
Yeah.
Whoever did it threw the arrows.
So it could be Bullseye? It could be Bullseye.
It could be.
He definitely throws stuff, but...
Deadshot?
No, Bullseye.
Bullseye is a Marvel.
Mix that up. He's not... Daredevil's not...
No, that's Marvel.
Alright, fuck
that's
that
Marvel.
Up. Anyway.
That's Marvel.
I don't think it's Deadshot there. Deadshot doesn't use arrows. He uses that handgun pointy thing.
But he could. But he doesn't have the strength.
He doesn't.
Okay, that's why I'm just saying it was established by the computer.
You know what would be really cool? If Ravager came back.
That's a possibility.
That would be really cool in my opinion if Ravager came back.
That's a possibility.
The female Deathstroke. Because she had the strength to do it because she has Mirakuru. And she knows who Sarah is and why she wouldn't go after Oliver and the rest of the team.
Yeah, she had that all set up.
But it could be her. And I wouldn't mind seeing her back. She's kind of hot. So she's okay.
Yeah. She's okay.
Not as hot as Rosa.
What? I like Ice Queens.
So do I. Anything else on Arrow?
No, I think that's about it for Arrow.
Arrow, okay.
I think you actually covered everything I covered everything on my list.
On your Arrow list?
No.
Oh, just on your list in general.
Well, no, I didn't even have Arrow on my list. I was so pissed off about football that I just thought of all the things that either excited me.
Okay, well, I only have four more things on my list. We want to breeze through them real quick.
Okay. Well,
Dumb and Dumber 2. I saw it. It's pretty darn good.
I watched the first one again last weekend, and it reminded me of all the reasons I always thought it was
I always thought it was funny, and it's not my. If you listened last week, what my big concern was that there was going to be a lot of rehashed jokes from the first movie, and to my surprise, there wasn't. There was not a lot of rehashed jokes. It was very well done, and to be fair, and there's not a lot of really funny movies out this year. It might be one of the funniest movies this year. Now, that's not saying much, because there hasn't been a lot of comedies this year.
The Lego movie was hilarious.
Lego movie is just awesome all around.
It was hilarious.
I mean, I do like, you know me, I like the Lego movie. I'm just saying that it will be one of the better, funnier movies this year, and it's not bad.
Okay, well, think of over the last 5 years. How many comedies have you seen? Have I seen? Like good comedies, not that we just are beating the same concept.
What is the best comedy of the last 5 years? Is that what you're asking me?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'm going to the theater to see a comedy because I haven't seen any that have really just. I thought if I don't see this immediately, I'm not gonna laugh anymore ever.
I think the funniest one I've seen over the last few years is probably The Heat with Sandra Bullock and I think it's Melissa McCarthy. That was really darn funny.
I didn't see it.
Maybe Let's Be
Caught.
There's no one. That's the one.
I just wanted to.
It's not. She's better in this one. I've seen both. She's better in it.
Let's Be Cops was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I love David Wayne Jr.
I have it on here if you want it. But,
we'll have to do that.
I have it on the computer if you want it. So it was not bad. I'm trying to think of any other funny movies that came out in the last couple of years. I have to make a list of that next week and talk about
that was my point. You're saying it was the funniest movie I've seen in a while.
Neighbors wasn't bad. It wasn't the funniest. Dumb and Dumber was funnier than The Neighbors. I'll give it that.
I rewatched the first one. I'll go back to. I thought it was. It was okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't rolling on the ground laughing like I would at Airplane.
Well, the thing is, Jim Carrey had like 3 years where he was making the funniest movies. He might have the 3 years of like funniest movies ever. When it comes to Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, both Ace Venturas, and Liar Liar.
Yeah, but
they were all in like a 4-year span, and they were just
almost taking the same character and you're putting them in a different environment.
So
go.
Is that so people? You can do the same thing with Adam Sandler movies.
Well,
for the longest time,
and that's the exact reason that Adam Sandler movies aren't as funny as they used to be.
Well, now he doesn't do those characters anymore. He doesn't have that character, that Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore character, just in different situations.
I hated Billy Madison.
I didn't hate it. It wasn't my favorite.
Happy Gilmore was fun.
Happy Gilmore was great.
Waterboy.
That'll go down as like probably one of the funniest sports movies ever. Stop making fun of me. No, your name is Needle Dick. Gatorade. H2O. Gatorade. Water sucks. It really sucks. Water sucks.
Henry Winkler as that coach was the best casting. It was so funny.
I love it when he goes through his like mental breakdown and he's like on the phone with no one and he's in heels. It's like I hate him.
Henry Winkler does not get enough credit for the shit he does. He really doesn't.
Oh man, for some reason Adam Sandler likes him. He puts him in all of his movies.
He deserves to be there. Well, that and that guy. That and that big guy.
They have all
like the cross-eyed.
Good one. Hey, Bob Boucher. You didn't make a joke. Him, the quarterback.
Oh, the caddy.
Yeah.
From Happy.
Yeah.
The caddy from Happy Gilmore.
And there's another guy.
That's the guy. Oh, there's a funny fucking movie. Grandma's Boy.
Well, was he in that?
Dude, the caddy
from
Sandler. Happy Gilmore.
No, I understand it, but Sandler.
No, Sandler wasn't in it, but that's a Happy Madison production.
I know, but I'm just saying Adam Sandler wasn't in that movie.
No, he wasn't in that movie. But
should have been.
The caddy was in that movie. That movie's fucking hysterical.
That movie is good. He's the guy who plays the main character in that is another movie he throws around in all of his movies too. Another character.
Yes, he's in a lot of his crap.
Oh, what's another one?
I don't know where he's at. Waterboy. I know he's in there.
Waterboy.
Isn't he the quarterback of the other team? No. That guy's too young.
I'd have to look it up to remember. He come along a little later because he wasn't in Happy Gilmore and he wasn't in Billy Madison.
No, he was in Happy Gilmore. In Happy Gilmore, he was the caddy. That old overgrown dude.
Not him. I'm talking about. Okay, I understand what you're talking about. The main character in Grandma's Boy.
Yes, is the caddy in Happy Gilmore.
No, that is the quarterback from Waterboy.
No, it's
not. Yes, it is. That's the.
Are you sure?
I promise.
Because I thought it was the caddy from Happy Gilmore.
Then where is he in that movie then?
What? The caddy from Happy Gilmore is Grandma's Boy.
We're gonna have this conversation next week. I'm gonna look it up. We're gonna have this discussion next week.
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
What's wrong with next week?
No, we're gonna still do this next week, but this sounds like a conversation we need to have at the bar, hash out while we're sitting there doing our thing.
Yeah.
And get it squared away.
We should just
While we have the wife there
We
to
should
throw
have-
up the red and yellow flags and give people cards and timeouts when they're overbearing.
Okay, next topic, since we're off of Dumb and Dumber. The NCAA football Final Four. Let's just pick 4. Just give me 4, and we can move on. I have to give Florida State their credit. Why can't anyone just beat that team? They should be like a 4-loss team right now. It's pissing me off. They should have lost.
I hate the SEC.
I hate Florida. I don't like the ACC. I like the Big 12.
No, SEC.
I know.
I fucking hate all
Florida
of them.
State's not in the SEC. I was just saying in general, why can't Florida State just lose? Notre Dame should have lost that game. Louisville should have lost that game. Last week, Miami should have lost that game.
Should have lost that
There's
game.
another game somewhere in there that I'm forgetting that they should have lost. They should have lost to Clemson because they didn't have Jameis Winston.
I think Jameis Winston's blowing the refs at halftime.
I think he is sold his soul to the devil. Because no matter what happens, his team just wins. And it's not because their team is just that much better than everyone. It's just shit just goes their way. Somehow something majestic is going on in Florida. Because it just goes their way every freaking week. They'll be down 20 points, and the right set of circumstances for them to get back in it happens.
But it's always circumstances. It's not like he drives them down the field. It really isn't.
Yeah.
It's a set of circumstances that happens that allows them to be in that position.
Yeah.
Albeit, it might be a turnover or something. But they're lucky. They are not good. They are not a good team.
No.
Overall team, no, not at all.
No.
Can Jameis Winston take advantage of a situation?
I think they have the best
Yes.
player in the nation.
He can
I'll
take
give him
advantage
that.
of a situation. I would still take Marcus Mariota over him in the draft in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but Marcus Mariota doesn't have. Well, his team is so good. You don't know how good Mariota really is.
I
Because
am just saying
his team is pretty good, so he doesn't have to lift them out of crap all the time. Jameis Winston is that good. Now, I would take Mariota.
This is all the farther we're going over to off topic. If you give me a choice right now, I am the
I'm gonna agree
owner
with
of the
you.
team.
I'm gonna
I
agree
got a
with you.
choice between Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. I look at all of Jameis Winston's bullshit and all the stupid shit he's done. And had he been any other college student, no one would have given a shit. But since he's the quarterback of a fucking SEC team, everyone cares.
He's not in the SEC. He's in the ACC.
Florida State?
Yeah, Florida Gators is in the SEC, and in
Oh, that's
Miami,
right, 'cause he-
and Miami's in the ACC also.
Okay. Well, point is, Marcus Mariota, perfect record. What has he done? How many times has he been on ESPN for fucking up like a douchebag?
Never.
Exactly. That's why I would
I'm-
take Marcus Mariota.
I'm
over
not
Jameis
disagreeing with
Winston.
you, but if you're gonna take, well, there's gonna be a team to take him. Someone's gonna take Jameis Winston and say we can fix this, or we don't care about his off field.
Send him to Tennessee because they love troublemakers.
Yeah, apparently they do.
And then after Tennessee's done with him, Bengals can pick him up because apparently that's what worked for Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Adam.
Adam.
Okay,
West
so
Virginia alumni, if you weren't paying
Florida,
attention.
TCU, or Oregon Ducks, and one more team. It's not Ohio or Alabama. Which I don't like the SEC because I'm gonna pick Ohio, and I
I
hate
don't think Ohio's getting the credit it deserves.
Ohio's a one-loss team. I just named three one-loss teams and then Florida State. So that's why I think that's the way it's going. We're at an hour and 15 minutes on this, buddy.
See, I told you. See, this is the one complaint I got last week by people is that we bite off more we can chew. That we should shorten the show into 2 half-hour shows, is I think what I was told.
Why? That doesn't sound any fun.
No, I'd rather just sit here and rant and rave for a fucking hour and be a dick about it.
Yeah, feedback is good though, people.
Yeah,
Tell
if you
us
don't
your
tell me
ideas.
what you want to hear, then I can't fucking talk about it.
Yeah. So let us know what you want to hear.
Oh, there was a complaint about the level of profanity in the show. That's not going to fucking stop, so don't even think about it.
Yeah, freedom of speech. We're not going to be PC. I think we said the F word about 237 times last time.
Really?
Yeah, I counted. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Hey, if we got to be rated NC-17, then that's just life.
That's
I do not care.
fine. It's all vocal. It's not like we're flashing shit. Or
Okay,
anything.
Alabama should not be at number 1. I will say that.
Yeah, Florida.
I hate
I don't
Alabama.
like Florida, but they should definitely be number 1. Okay, well, while
Okay,
you're
I'll
talking-
give you Oregon, and I still maintain Mississippi State. Who won, Baylor or TCU in that game?
TCU.
TCU.
Oh no, Baylor beat TCU.
Okay, well then Baylor should be in there as well, not TCU. I don't care what anyone says about strength of schedule and blah, 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 whatever. They beat them. That's all there is to it. And
TCU's a better team.
I don't care. give a shit. I'm just telling you, if we're going head to head,
Okay, fine.
they beat them.
Baylor will lose again, I guarantee it.
And you know what? Shits and giggles. I really, really always have loved the Badgers.
Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick them.
Well, Oklahoma State's not available.
Well, I told you my top 4.
Because John Gundy is fucking awesome. He's a great head coach. And I don't think Washington's up there either. And that's where Chris Peterson is, and he's a fan. I love him too.
Okay, and there's our NCAA football Final Four as of now.
Meanwhile, it's pointless to do a Final Four until everyone's had their playoffs and you can decide an actual Final Four. So the fact that they do this dumb shit over all season long, it pisses me off.
Okay, real quickly, NCAA basketball. I'm just going to throw this out there. If Kentucky doesn't run away with an undefeated season in a national championship, something's wrong.
Does anyone actually stay up and watch all 24 hours of opening day?
This guy.
Wow. Okay.
I watched a lot.
I was checking because they do that every year. We're going to play basketball for 24 hours. Is there anyone really up at 3 a.m. to watch a West Coast game on the East Coast?
I'd watch it because there's a lot of good Gonzaga games in St. Mary's. Anyway, okay, we'll just get off that topic
really fast. I rolled my eyes if you couldn't see that.
We'll get off that topic really fast. Xbox Live, I just have a bitch real quick. Not so much Xbox Live, but Xbox One. First complaint. Why do you have to install a goddamn game? You know what the upside to the 360 and the Xbox, or the original Xbox, is you can buy the game, go home, play it immediately. Now you have to install it for 5 hours. Okay? That's less gamer time, and I just let one, so just give you a heads up, cover your nose. Okay? So that's my first issue. Second issue is none of the crap is working for Xbox Live. Our Xbox One online gameplay is horrible right now. I cannot play Destiny to save my life. It kicks me out every 30 seconds.
Dude, you do have a shitty fucking bandwidth, so.
It has nothing to do with the bandwidth, it's the servers. Because I looked online and there's a lot of server problems. Fix it.
Time out. This just in. Snowfall may threaten the Buffalo Bills and Jets game.
Yay. Who cares about that game anyway?
I actually got a news flash on my computer. It's telling me something I didn't fucking know.
I want Rex Ryan to get fired and the Redskins to sign him. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it.
Proof that my computer is smarter than I am.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you're saying. Sometimes Xbox Live does fuck you a little bit. But
no,
I think it's the one because I'm playing on my 360.
360's fine. I didn't have an issue last night with 360.
So are you saying it's the Destiny server?
I'm thinking it's Xbox One server. Xbox One in general is just irritating me.
So if I have a 360 and you have a One, we can't play
the games freeze. Yes.
Okay.
The games freeze.
I did not know that.
Sometimes you have to unplug your Xbox to make sure it doesn't. Because the way it plays out is if you exit the game, you have a little window and you can go to your dashboard. Then you can easily just click back on the game. It goes right back to where you were.
Yeah.
And you can actually open other stuff and do it. And what happens is sometimes it gets frozen and it gets stuck on, if you get stuck on a loading screen, it freezes. You can't get out of that unless you unplug the whole Xbox.
I thought that multitasking engine was a little too much.
Yeah, well, they screwed it up big time. If they just made it like the 360, but you can just play Xbox Live, Xbox One games, it'd have been perfect. They tried to do too much, and I hope they fix it soon. I really do hope they fix it soon.
I think the voiceover app is the thing that's really done it. I shouldn't ever need to flash between things I'm doing. I won't lie.
There is an upside to it.
No, I won't lie. There have been times that it have been pretty nice to bury myself balls deep in fucking Halo, but leave the tip of my dick out enough that I can have a small screen watching football on Sunday, and that would be fan-fucking-tastic. Not gonna lie. That's a great idea. The rest of it, bullshit. Xbox flash to this. Xbox do this. Xbox do that. I don't want my Kinect watching me masturbate looking at porn. That's just weird.
Yeah, you don't do it in front of your Xbox. The Xbox doesn't like it. Okay, that's my last topic. You want to get to these 10 things? Or 10 topics?
Oh, Top now 10. We're on a time schedule.
Top 10?
Now that I brought the complaint from somebody else, now we're on a time schedule. Okay, top 10 ways ESPN pisses us off. And we do each have 10 things. However, the lists are subtly different in certain aspects. So, I'm going to get through my 10. He's going to hit his 10. And then we're going to debate the things that we see different. They cover negative a lot more than they do positive. ESPN's fantasy football show. This week, there was a tie at running back in 2 positions. at 35 and 37. There was no 36. If there's a tie at 35, that means there's a 36. Then there's a tie at 36, then that means a 37. Just because there's a tie doesn't mean you get to delete numbers from the thing. You just can't do it. It's bullshit. It pisses me off. Their coverage of Ray Rice. You shouldn't have shown the fucking video in the first place. That's what YouTube's for. Hernandez. No one gave a shit after 2.5 hours, but you went 3 weeks on the coverage. Screw it. And they're still doing it. Nobody cares. And like I said, very little good news. You don't use your best anchors at the best times. You put your best anchors on at prime time. Who watches SportsCenter on prime time? There's NCIS, there's Arrow, there's The Flash, there's
Gotham.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's Gotham. There's a shitload of shit to watch at prime time, not SportsCenter. Experts? Who are your fucking experts? And what the fuck do they know? College coverage. Stop it. Establish your top 4 at the end of the season. Otherwise, just shut the fuck up. And your draft coverage. As much as I love seeing Todd McShay and his doppelganger, his evil sidekick.
Todd McShay and Mel Kiper Jr.
Yeah. As much as I love seeing those guys debate back and forth who's the best and who's the worst, it is fucking November. The draft is until May. Give me a fucking break.
Okay, my top 10 list. First off, this isn't really an issue I have. I love their theme song. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Don't change it. Don't ever change it. Number 9, baseball season. I can't stand baseball season. Stop showing so much baseball. I hate it. It's just the same plays over. Oh, he hits the ball with the grounder. Oh, the guy caught a grounder and he threw it the first place. That's a routine play. You should be able to do that at a pro level.
What do you get when you play 142 games a season?
God, it gets so irritating. There's so many baseball games every night. You watch ESPN for an hour, and if there's any kind of basketball game on, you'll get one part basketball, the rest Major League Baseball, and I hate it. I'm personal bias. I don't hate baseball. I hate all the highlights for baseball.
I hate basketball.
Tell the whole story. Example I said earlier about RG3. They're going to blame him for every loss, but they don't yell at they don't get on his teammates for not blocking. They don't get on his teammates for not running their routes properly, and so on and so forth. They don't tell the whole story. Like they'll get on Geno Smith about how bad he played in college for the last 6 games of his senior campaign. But what they don't tell you is that Geno Smith stopped throwing the ball to 2 players because they were banging his girlfriend. That's the whole story. He wouldn't do it, and he went to high school with Stedman Baylor was his best friend. They won't tell that story. They're just going to sit there and run his name through the damn coals.
Oh, I'm waiting for Paul Harvey to come out of the closet right now and be like, and now for the rest of the story.
Yeah. Okay, the bias, the damn apps. Their apps are god-awful.
Their app sucks.
I listen to ESPN radio religiously because I drive an hour to school, an hour from school every day. So I listen to their apps religiously. Their shows, First Take, Numbers Never Lie, which is now His and Hers podcast, Around the Horn and PTI. I listen to those religiously every freaking day. I'll come home if I'm playing Xbox. I'll listen to them. They have not had them updated for the last 5 days. I'm getting really freaking irritated with it. Their biased agenda. Every anchor or every personality they have on there has an agenda. Like, for example, Skip Bayless is hell-bent on getting the Redskins name changed because he finds it offensive. Okay? It doesn't, and this ties in with another thing called hypocrisy I have on this list. If you think the Redskins name is so offensive and it should not be said and should not be a team name, why the fuck can you keep saying the name on airways? But the team should change the name. The Redskins should change the name because the Redskins name is just offensive. It's Redskins. Redskins, Redskins, Redskins. Okay, if it's so bad, why can you say it, but my team can't have it as a name? Period.
Didn't Tony Dungy decide he was never going to say that name on
Yeah, and he failed horribly. And there was a couple other guys that said it too. He failed horribly. They said it right on the airway. Negativity, and I don't want to get too much into this, but how many seconds was it spent talking about Kobe Bryant breaking 32,000 points?
Exactly, and that comes back to Dirk last week.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about the great crap that happened.
And he
they
won.
Want to spend all 8 times on the
They'll
negative.
talk about how he might shoot 12 for 32 or something. But then when he wins, last night he was 10 for 18, which is a very good shooting percentage. And his team won. They talk about that? No, they don't talk about that. Sorry. Newscasters have too much personality. Okay? On no other news broadcasting station do the newscasters have this much personality as they do on ESPN? Report the news and be quiet and try not to sell. You're not there to make your own brand. You're there to brand the ESPN. I understand you have a little bit of that, but not too much personality. Your job is not to have personality. Your job is to report the news.
Was that your last one?
No. Hypocrisy ties into the one earlier. That's fine. How much they're lobbying to get the Redskins name changed, that irritated me. And my number one topic that pisses me off is how much coverage LeBron James gets. It really freaking irritates me how much he gets broadcasted.
Well,
would the Cavaliers get any light in the sun if they didn't have LeBron freaking James on their team?
Well, never mind that. Look what Kobe did last night.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
that was 5 seconds. That was a blur, maybe 10 seconds at best. I might have blinked. I could have missed it. But they wanted to talk about LeBron James and what happened with the Cavs.
And he has a matchup tonight with the Spurs. That was a 30-minute conversation this morning.
Fucking shit.
He has to play the Spurs, the team that took him off his throne. No, it's a game. It's one game in a game of 30. He could lose this game and win the rest. But that game would be what people look at like, well, he's not going to win the championship because he can't beat the defending champions. No, it has nothing to do with that. How many times last year, and I watch a lot more basketball than you do, so I apologize for this, did the Miami Heat play a team, for example, Brooklyn had their number in regular season, so did the Raptors, and the Heat Pacers had their number. Okay, they just could not beat those teams in the regular season. Then the playoffs come, they stomp them. They just flat out run ape shit on them because they were a better team. But it's just the way that they do things. I don't understand it. Why they got to make it more than it is? It's a game. Just report the scores and shut the hell up. That was what I would like. Remember
the highlight reel?
You ever seen the channel Sports News? You remember that where they would just report the scores?
Yeah, but they didn't have enough.
ESPN News. It was called ESPN News.
Well, ESPN News is still a thing.
Not as much. Now they have like Sports Center on it and everything where they have the personalities.
Well, they put Sports Center on it when they're running something else on Sports Center. And ESPN2 and ESPN and ESPNU and how many fucking ESPNs are there?
1, 2, U, News.
The Ocho. That's where they shoot dodgeball.
ESPN the Ocho. Yeah. I wish they had that.
The only thing I will disagree with you on your list.
Okay.
I like the level of personality. John Anderson, Kenny Mayne.
I like a little bit.
That's the best. That's the best when they host. Nagande, I like the fact that he brings himself into it. Bring yourself to the table. I like that.
A little bit of it. But it's not about the newscasters. It is about the sports. That's what my issue is. Report the sports and explain the game. Don't make it about you. Okay? This podcast is about sports and our opinions, not about me and you. So we don't try to broaden ourselves up and put ourselves on a pedestal. Don't put yourself on a pedestal ahead of the sports stars that you're covering. That's my issue. Is they put themselves on a pedestal, and it's not about the story. It's about how they present the story and how they see the story unfolding. It's about the story itself. A little bit too much bias.
Well, when they take a legitimate point, it's fine. Like, I understand you went to this college, so you feel this way about the college rankings. That much I get. But like I said, I swear to God, that little fat white dude that follows LeBron James around, I think he's stalking him. I think he's getting paid to stalk him.
He's documenting his entire career.
I realize that.
I can't remember his name right now.
He's making his last something with a horse. I don't know.
Brian One Horse.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know.
He's documented his whole career.
But the thing is, you know what? To his credit, he doesn't bring his personality into this. He talks about the stats, the figures, but then he starts talking about shit LeBron James did in 2010. It's like, I don't care anymore. It's 4 years later.
Yeah.
Shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
And for the record, I'm tired of this comparison. MJ will never be surpassed by anyone. Not for a long time. Not LeBron James. The closest one ever do is going to be Kobe. And he will not surpass. He may pass him in points. But MJ has way more MVPs, way more finals MVPs. 6-0 in NBA finals. Just, you can't beat that. There's no one that can outdo that. Okay? Bill Russell has a lot of championships, but he also lost like 3. So I don't want to hear this argument anymore. Period. End of discussion on that.
And anyone who walks up to me and says so-and-so equals greatest of all time is going to get punched in the fucking face because guess what? The clock's still ticking, son. You can say the greatest up to this point, but do not ever tell me the greatest of all time because you're a fucking asshole.
MJ's the greatest of all time.
He is not of all time.
Yes, he is.
I think Jesus would have been a far better point guard.
That hair would have gotten away.
I don't know. Dude can walk on water. He wouldn't have slipped in sweat.
Doesn't mean he has a good vertical.
I imagine his vertical was pretty fucking impressive being as how he ascended.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think so.
I brought politics and religion into it today. Fuck it.
Okay, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I hope we don't have to pay for that. That would be ridiculous.
I gave him credit for it, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I did credit him with da-na-na. So we'll probably have to, $3,000?
Yeah, thank you, ESPN, for letting us steal your shit.
Yeah, thanks, LeBron James, for letting me say your name. Thank you, the Redskins, for letting me say your name. Anyone else I need to give credit to? God, I hate baseball season. God, summertime is the worst to watch SportsCenter. God, do I hate baseball season. It is the worst time to watch SportsCenter.
I like seeing some of the catches. I like seeing some of the home runs, but not everything the second baseman does is amazing. Like Drew Stanton did last week. He did his fucking job.
See, this is why I don't watch ESPN much anymore. I watch, if I want specific news, I watch NFL Network and NBA TV.
Dude, even when the Hernandez Rice shit was going on, good luck getting away from it at the NFL Network. It was a pain in the ass.
I just want to hear about everything else.
Yeah, give me the stats, give me the fucking lines, tell me what's going on. It's a blurb. It is not a conversation.
Yeah, it totally is. Oh, I'm agreeing. That's what I mean. Totally is a blurb.
We totally came back to what we started this
full circle
thing with.
Full circle. Oh, so anything else out there? We only had one guest star today, and that would be one cat. So what's this one?
I don't know. That's Hemi, but the other one was cooing in the background.
Hemi. Coo, coo. All right. Well, thank you for listening to this podcast. We will be back next week, same time, same place, as usual. Signing out. This is JD Plank.
Yeah, it's me. It's Chad.
And have a good day, fuckers.
Have a beer.